All right, we've got Ryden paired up with Jose Altuve here. Let's take a look at it at full live speed, and then we'll break it down a little bit. You can actually might be able to hear me say hands back a little bit longer, so we'll talk about that with Ryden swing. But let's get back to the top here for both. Okay. Good athletic stance. Not a big fan of kind of pinching the knees together. So that's something that I talk about with Trevor as well, kind of getting more in that athletic stance like you would if you're getting ready to guard somebody in a basketball game. Um, and then very slightly, you kind of drop this front foot back. I was watching the 6-7 clips that we had from this night when we were videoing everybody, and sometimes you had a slightly closed stance, sometimes it was square, and in this case, it's ever so slightly open. But nevertheless, we just want to make sure whatever stance we choose, there's different things that we can do with two strikes and things like that. But right in this particular instance, we want to make sure we kind of stay consistent with our stance and how we're approaching things, especially just in a front toss setting like this. So let's go ahead and take it through. Let's see the load. All right. And this falls in line with keeping those hands back a little bit longer. We don't really ever quite get into a fully loaded position. It looks like we're rushing through this, and it wasn't just one pitch. It was almost every single one of them. And I would say it pretty much holds true when we get into a game situation from what I remember in the fall, to where we're not really fully getting loaded against that backside. So we'll do some drills to really emphasize that and get all that weight connected with the ground and into that in your case, since you're a right-handed hitter, your right side, so that when that front foot lands after our load, we get in that launch position and we're ready to explode forward, and we're not in such a rush. You can kind of see that back shin kind of turning away, and that knee kind of corkscrews away from, or coils away, I should say, from the pitcher more towards the catcher, and he still stays well inside with that back hip inside that foot. Um, you're never quite getting fully loaded um, against his backside. So we'll work on that. The other thing is um, knob and barrel position. His knob's facing the catcher's feet. Barrel is just above his head if we were to draw a picture frame there. So that's in a good spot. And in your case, we never quite get there at any point. And then when we look at how the actual launch position, and the launch position takes place whenever your front heel lands. That is our true launch position. So your front heel just landed, or pretty close to landing, and then you can see the position of the knob of the bat, and then of course the barrel as well. So we want it to be like that, where the knob's facing the catcher's feet, or even if it's just somewhere, almost straight up and down like Acuna does from the Braves, that's fine too. But somewhere in that neighborhood, so that we can keep our hands back. Because at this point in time, if the pitch, it's curveball, changeup, whatever it is, it's off speed, you're not in a position to make a powerful contact with the baseball if you're fooled with the speed of the pitch at all. So that's one of the main reasons to keep our hands back, so that we can, handle all pitch types and pitch speeds, and then obviously it affects the power as well. So let's clear these out. Let's take it through. And maintain that launch position. Your lower half kind of trails the top half a little bit. I can see, because right now, your hands are about even, if not even a little bit ahead of where that back knee is, which is kind of starts the lower half of the swing, pitching that down towards home, and then kind of, driving that back hip. And then if we look at Altuve here, he's just front tossing and kind of taking it lightly. I will say that in a normal game situation, his lower half is leading the way a little bit more than is seen right here. So that's not a great example of what his game speed situation would look like. And I guess you're not in game speed either, but I think you have the tendency to do some similar things. Like I said, when I've seen you in game. So maintaining that launch position, and I think doing that and getting loaded against the backside will solve all the things that we're talking about here. Let's just take you through contact. Um, See how we're kind of, you turn the knob up into the zone, and then you're kind of getting out of the zone pretty quickly. And that could have had something to do a little bit with pitch location. But if we take a look at Altuve here, even in this setting, still doing a great job of keeping that barrel down and through the zone. If we were to take that imaginary line of the inside of the batter's box and draw that here, we would want to see the barrel stay in there as long as we possibly could, and kind of take that top arm and extend that down that line as well, as opposed to kind of up and out of the zone that you see here with yours. This is a common issue with this age group, so we'll continue to work on that. And then I think the biggest thing is getting you loaded against that backside and maintaining that launch position that we've talked about a few times prior. So we'll keep working at it, bud. A lot of good stuff though. Really good athlete. I'm sure you'll adjust nicely, and we'll just make a few adjustments and you'll be good to go. All right, bud.